Hi, everyone.
Hey.
My name is Tyler. I'm one of the 5 grandchildren that you've heard so much about already. Just like when my papa died, Frank, her husband, each of the 5 grandkids wrote a little ode to Quita. Being as I'm the least vocally talented, I will read those for you now. First, let me say thank you guys, everyone, for coming. The first one is from Kayla. The first one is Kayla, the eldest granddaughter. These are her words. My granny was genuinely one of my most favorite people on this earth. I can remember writing an essay in 8th grade called My Favorite Place, in which I talked about my granny's house. I talked about the sounds of the television from Papa watching in the living room, being covered up by the various conversations taking place on a Sunday afternoon, while Granny sings and cooks in her Sunday dress until she had a chance to change into something more comfortable. I talked about the conversations we would have around the table after we ate and how they were certainly never dull. The smells of her house are so unique that one time Derek won a used iron at a family white elephant gift exchange and knew that it was Granny's by the smell it gave off. She laughed and was surprised when he made the connection. She was extremely special. I'm thankful for all that she has. I'm thankful for all that she has taught me about life and the Lord. I'm thankful to have witnessed her life for as long as I could, and wouldn't trade her storytelling and laughter for anything. All I want is to make her proud and be just like her. She was loved by everyone she met, and she loved harder than anyone I know. I cannot wait to see you in heaven and let out the biggest shout. Thank you for being my amazing, beautiful, irreplaceable, incredible granny. My life goal is to tell your story and let your legacy live on, because everyone deserves to know of how to Celeste Phillips, and that it's possible for someone as amazing as her to exist. I know when I sing, you're singing with me. See you soon, Granny. Love you. From the youngest grandchild, youngest granddaughter, the baby, there she is, Lacey. We all know Granny was a special woman. Just being in her presence, you could feel the love she gave off. What I found to be one of her most remarkable traits was how she had a unique connection and relationship with each grandchild. My relationship with her was special because we were both the babies of the family. We had numerous experiences together that made our bond special. Of course, many of these moments were over shopping. She helped me pick out my prom dress, my wedding dress, bought me my first pair of high heels, both heels. She even picked out the linens for my bathroom for my first home. My favorite memory of all, though, was the school field trip she went on with me to Washington, D.C. During this trip, I saw snow for the first time while walking through Arlington Cemetery. We talked about this trip a lot because of her passion for history. She knew so much about history and loved listening, and I loved listening to her talk about it with so much enthusiasm. Granny was an intelligent woman I will forever admire. She was always there for all the moments, big and small, and I know she will continue to be there for the future ones. We miss you and your contagious laughter. Love you, Quita. The next one is from Derek, the eldest grandson, the oldest grandchild. When I think of my granny, it's difficult to note the moments that weren't special for one reason or another. Whether it was the way she would hum her favorite song while making our Sunday dinner, or her demonstrations of the jitterbug, which created a riot of laughter anywhere we were. I remember the way she bickered and laughed with my papa on long car drives, and the countless executive decisions of new garments in the petite section of any department store. I remember what a rock she was at every pinnacle moment in my life. She wiped every tear from my face, whether it was from whatever pressures I was experiencing or a shared joke that demanded we laughed until we cried. From the smell of her house, to the sound of her voice, to the way she carried herself, my granny radiated class and love that was so evident to everyone who knew her. I miss her beyond words can describe, and I cling to the knowledge that I will see her again. The next one is from the youngest grandson, my brother Zach. Alva Phillips was strong. I don't know a better example of strength in my life, and I'm thankful for that. Today is a happy day, if you ask her. But for us, it's sad because she isn't here. We just had Olive Garden, but it wasn't recent enough. I just had her cooking the other week, but I'm still looking forward to it again. She is much happier where she is now, but getting used to her absence will be the toughest. I love you, Granny, and everything you showed us. There it is. Sorry. Lastly from me, the second grandson, second oldest, not favorite. Let me start by saying that my granny and I didn't always see eye to eye. As a generously rebellious teenager and young adult, you can probably imagine why sometimes I would bump heads with a lifetime church secretary. Fun, sweet, joyful, purdy. These are a few words that would accurately describe Quita. Faithful, loving, sanctified, Christian. These words describe her legacy that touched multiple generations and countless others. These, I believe, are the words she would want stated to describe her lifetime of faithful service. Undoubtedly, my granny was ready for heaven. She spent a long time trying to make sure that I was ready, I would be ready when my time comes, as well as her children and the other grandchildren, and even her great-grandson. She would attest that God works in mysterious ways. I recently moved in with my granny. It wasn't because we were so close and got along so well. It was because I finally needed what she had been trying to teach me for as long as I can remember. She spent the majority of our time explaining to me how to pray, how to have faith, how to love everyone, but most of all, how to put God first. My fondest memories of her have come on Christmas Eve, where we would always read the Christmas story. During the Buccaneers Super Bowl run, and she would pray for the players and Tony Dungy. During the Gators championship run, and her praying for the players and Tim Tebow. Yeah. But my fondest memories came most recently witnessing the joy that she had molding me into the Christian that she always wanted me to be. After basically a lifetime of rebellion, disrespect, backsliding, you can't imagine the joy she would express when I asked her for prayer or for scripture. Countlessly, I would ask her for advice and counseling. Every single time, she would get her Bible. She would get her Bible and she would pray. She would always point me towards Jesus. No matter what the problem was, always the same result for my entire life. She has been instrumental in turning my life around. I know that this is her funeral. But I'm willing to bet that if she were here, she would be telling y'all my testimony. I can't think of a better way to honor her in this final farewell than to express to all of you that God works in very mysterious ways. And while we don't understand, we all know deep down that her passing is all part of His plan for her life. I'm not saying that I know God's plan, but I do know that she would be glowing to have all of her family in church today. Mm-hmm. She absolutely loved bringing her blood family / descendants to fellowship with her church family. Recently, I was able to witness the first-hand conflict that she struggled with in not having all of her family in church. And I'm ashamed to say that other than my papa's funeral, there has only been one other time that both of her children and all 5 of her grandchildren accompanied her to church. The night before her surgery, we joined hands in her living room to pray for her. And she prayed for us. A true testament to the mother, grandmother, and most of all, Christian that she was. I love you, Granny. I got any more time? I can say one more thing?
Go ahead.
One more thing. I seem to be holding it together pretty well, so push my luck here. Good. I lived with her recently, and we basically read the Bible and had devotionals up every night of the week. I was struggling with what to say today, and I went back through my notes in my Bible app, and I found one verse. My note says, per Quita, this is one to live by. The verse is Philippians 4, 6, and 7. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all that He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Verse 18. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. And I would say her going home, worthy of some praise.
Amen.
Thank you.